Hello, people of God. This is my Jacob's Way TV, and I'm Dupi Dupi Singer. This is episode 121. 121. I want to talk to you about something that I know interests the Lord so much, as everything we have talked about on this channel, I believe, as has a great interest in the mind of God. God has His own mind. I'm so sure about that. And it is about the issue of the children that are born on the streets that are called bornthroways. Bornthroways. But using the parlance of the street language, they are called bornthroways. Bornthroways. What normally happens is that there are also young women on the streets. Young women who found themselves to live on the streets, living on the streets found themselves living on the streets without any accommodation, Some of them also get into taking drugs. And the young men on the streets always have their pleasure through them. The man that the Lord used to tell me this story, because I would not have known about it, told me the story about 5 years ago, that the cheapest thing on the streets is sex. And with 200 naira, you can lay a girl. And the girls also need money to get by. So they always make themselves available to the guys. The man that told me the story, an ex-banker who got into fraud in the bank and who ended up in the prison yard and who learned some other trades maybe while he was in the prison yard. He graduate, speaks very good English, good-looking man. And by the time he left the prison yard, he got into drug peddling. If it's not peddling, there's another big word for drug. He was into drug business. And so he started also to run away from the law. And so he ended up on the streets. Like God always does, or like he did, and he still does, he brings people to church under the tree. And he brought this guy. We started talking, speaks good English, good looking guy, clean, neat. But he couldn't even bring himself to living in any serious accommodation because he was running away from the law. He was the one that the Lord used to open my eyes to this group of people that are called the bornthroways. The bornthroways. You see, when a girl on the street gets multiple partners, sexual partners, and then she becomes pregnant, some of them can successfully abort their pregnancies. Some, for whatever reason, maybe the fear of death or whatever, will keep the pregnancies to fruition and have the babies. But then they do not know who has fathered their babies. We start to bring up the children on the streets. And then, before you know it, she's probably pregnant again. Some girls end up having 3 children like that. And one day the children will become so much trouble to the mother, and the mother will not be able to handle them. Especially when they have become like a stigma to her. She doesn't know the father of any of the children. So the common thing that those young ladies do on the streets is to run away and drop their children in the environment where they are born and run away. Some of the children are as young as 3, 4 years. And it now left for the street guys to start catering for them. I mean, making sure that they eat, not necessarily because they love them, but because they can also use them, and they start to teach them according to my informant, they start to teach them how to first of all, um, it's not stealing that is the first one. It start teaching them how to pickpockets. They start to teach them how to pickpockets, and then they, apart from that, then they start teaching them. The next thing is to teach them how to steal. As they grow older, they teach them how to rob. And he told me to bring the point home. He told me the story of a young girl. For the purpose of this story, let's call the girl's name Julie. No, let's call the girl's name Nkechi, or whatever name you want to give her. Had a baby. She didn't know who fathered her baby. And by the time the baby was 2 years old, she had had a second child. Much earlier than the girl was 2 years old. She has had a second child. She had now had two children in her hands. And times were that she wouldn't have enough money ordinarily to take care of the two children. So she still had to do some kind of serious prostitution, which meant that she would leave the children overnight on the streets and actually go look for male, men here and there in brothels to so that she could make some money and bring back the next day. And Nkechi was leaving her newborn baby to the care of her 2-year-old baby. And of course, the two children will be crying in the middle of the night, according to my informant. The two children will be crying in the middle of the night. The baby will cry, cry. He said many times his heart could not take their cries. So he will get up and go to their corner and try to, you know, do some lullabies so that the babies can be quiet. The other brutes who are sweet guys will be shouting, Nkechi, what is wrong with this girl? She gave birth to bastards. Bastards will not let us sleep. We kill these children one day. We throw them onto the streets. And the guy that was talking to me told me a particular place in Lagos where motorists will still pass in the middle of the night. And that many times you will see the children crawl towards the main road looking for their mother in the middle of the night. He had children that were with their mother. And maybe because the father feeling in him will make him get up, go and get those children back from. So one day, the car almost ran on top of the second child. And when he will get the children back and he will be petting them to keep quiet, the other boys will be abusing him. Are you sure you're not the father of those bastards? Are you sure? Because we don't know why you're interested. If it's not that you are protecting these children, we will have killed them a long time ago. He said to me, in fairness to Nkechi, whenever she will return, she will give him some money for being the nanny in quote for the children when she was gone looking for money in the middle of the night. And that one day, when the children were like 3 and 4 or thereabout, 4, 5, Nkechi just disappeared. And so the children will still carry flame on their faces, still crying for their mother, still looking for food. You see the brutes that are on the street when they have eaten and have some kind of remainders of food, we'll give them and say we curse them and abuse them and all that. But soon they will find the children useful to quickly go and buy food for them or run some errands for them. And from there, they inherit these children and they begin to teach them how to pick pockets. Teach them. He told me that it's a serious thing because each person now can find small children that become it becomes a mentor. Maybe the children become become his mentee, and mentees, and he starts to teach them how to pickpocket. He doesn't do it well. The child does not do it well. He gets a knock on his head, and the child will learn and learn until he will teach him or her how to begin to steal. Then one day, a child will be taught how to use the weapon, and this set of children grow up on the streets. They are blatant criminals. They have no pity. There's no way you say sorry, please, they plead. There's nothing you say to them that will make them stop to molest you. They don't care if you die because they have no relationship of their own. We cannot finish the story of the bornthroways in just one episode. So I'll continue the next episode, and I will link it up to the mind of the Lord concerning the people that are on the streets. This is my Jacob's Way TV. I'm Dupi Dupi Singer. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and do not forget to share. And please watch out for the next episode. God bless you for watching. Bye bye.